Hi there, I'm Kiaris, and in this occasion, I bring you this Pino's Timelapse, one of the characters of Ergo Proxy. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. And regarding this piece in particular, it is a redraw from an older version I made in 2017. Purpose? I want to see how my skills as an artist has evolved over the years. And spoiler alert, it won't be the last one I'll show you. Come with me and I'll show you the process and explain for you the difference between both of them. Let's go. First, let me show you the illustration of this memorable Ergo Proxy character that I made back in 2017. Ergo Proxy is a cyberpunk post-apocalyptic anime from 2006, filled with psychological and philosophical stuff, a true work of art. She is Pino, a character who gave me a lot of affection and a desire to protect her, a mixture of innocence and a certain vulnerability. Now, speaking on a technical level, when I made this illustration, I was beginning to feel encouraged to give my works a background that was more than just a simple color gradient. Something that would give my characters a solid and credible base to stand on. However, at the composition level, it was evident that I was still subpar. The character is only standing on what we assume is a surface covered by snow. We can see that it is night, but it lacks elements that give more information. Of course, I had made more complex backgrounds, but this was by request and not by my own choice. And this is the clear difference between the Pino of 2017 and the current Pino in 2024. While there are things that I kept as an exterior shot on a snowy night, there are some characteristics that transformed it into a more interesting composition. It's all a matter of making decisions and showing the angle that is most striking to us, and that's also tell us a story. In this case, I thought that, to highlight the innocence and empathy of the character, she could be accompanied by some little animals that watch her play. Sometimes I think that Pino the robot's role was to show us how to remember our own humanity, which we often put aside for issues that in the end are superficial. Talking a little about composition, the illustration is framed by some branches and the looks of the animals pointing at Pino as the protagonist, the character on which I want the viewer to focus their gaze. Another thing to highlight about this triad of characters is the fact of the sizes and details. I tried to vary the sizes in the three, so that it would be more interesting and less monotonous to observe, and at the same time, she had more detail than her animal companions. The moon behind her, outlining her figure, plays an important role in terms of lighting, casting strong shadows on the little girl, which bring her closer to the camera visually. I wanted the size of this moon to be large and with enough presence, since it somehow gives me the feeling of the immensity that surrounds her and therefore us. Taking into account what has been said, the following reflections comes to mind. Although we feel lost in the immensity of the world, we are not entirely alone because everything is connected. Animals observe us, and in doing so, they interact with us. Maybe in one of those small houses, someone is waiting for us for a warm dinner and a chat. This is why details are important, because they help us to tell our stories. If you ask me, I probably could have done better, but I didn't want to exhaust my mind with a single illustration. So, advice from my mentors: what you couldn't do better in this one, you will do it in the next one. And this itself gives me the motivation for the next one, and so on. Well, thanks for watching this time lapse. And if you got this far and you liked it, I ask you to like the video, subscribe the channel and click the bell so that YouTube notifies you for new content. See you next. Bye bye!